Hello friends, I hope everybody is fine. Let us start with something new. Let us add a hard disk to an existing machine and then try to configure that hard disk into logical volume. So let us start with something like that. To do that, first of all, we have to shut down the machine and add a hard disk, right? So let us shut down this machine and add a hard disk in this machine. Alright, I will say change the console view to details view. I will have to add a hard disk to this. So I'll say add hardware. The first itself is storage. I will add only 5 GB of storage. So let us say 5 GB disk device, and I'll take accept all the defaults. Fine. So the hard disk is added. Try to understand this. This is the equivalent of your switching off your computer, physically adding a hard disk, connecting all the connectors, and then restarting the machine. So now I will restart the machine. So let us start with the machine. The computer is being restarted now. Let's open a terminal and see what all hard disks are connected to this machine. So let's say sudo ls/dev/vd. You can see that there are two hard disks now. VDA, which is the original hard disk that was there in this machine. VDB is the newly added disk. In your case, when you connect a physical hard disk to a physical server, these will appear as SDA and SDB. Okay, so the disk is added. Now what I'll do is, first of all, there are two ways you can add a hard disk. First, add a hard disk and create a new logical volume, or second is add a hard disk, attach that hard disk to the existing logical volume, and third possibility is add a hard disk, format it, and then mount it as some partition, put it as some partition. But what I'm going to show you right now is I'm going to add a hard disk, which I have already done. Then I will create a new logical volume, and from there we'll take it up. Fine. So to create a logical volume, there are three steps. First, you have to create a physical volume. Second, you have to create a volume group, and lastly, thirdly, you have to create the logical volume. So let us say, first of all, we will say sudo pv create. pv is physical volume. We'll say /dev/vdb. We have added this disk vdb, so I have said vdb. Okay, it is successfully created. Now I will say vg create sudo vg create my vg. So I am naming the vg as my vg /dev/vdb. Well, my vg is also successfully created. Now I will say lv create Okay, now the logical volume is created. The command was lv create minus l plus 100% free my vg. My vg was what? It was the volume group that I had created. Now the disk is created. We will have to format this disk. So we will say sudo mkfs dot ext4, and we will say slash dev slash mapper slash myvg dash lvol 0. Okay, the hard disk is formatted also. Now we shall do one thing. We shall mount this hard disk. Let's say mount sudo mount slash dev slash mapper slash myvg l volume 0 to slash mnt directory. What I'm trying to do is move the current home which is mounted in the root file system to this new hard disk that I have added. Typically that's the case in most of the servers, that the home volume goes on getting filled very rapidly, and you need to make a provision, upscale the storage to accommodate the new incoming data. So that's what I am trying to do. Okay, so now the volume is mounted. Now we shall say sudo rsync minus av, that is all files and verbose, to or slash home, this is the source star, to slash mnt. So all the home, whatever is there in the home, will get copied to myvg that I have created, myvg dash lvl 0, l volume 0. So that's where everything is getting copied right now. When everything is copied, now sudo vim slash dev, vim slash etc slash fs tab. Now I'll append a line to this, append, paste it here, paste. Okay, now I want to mount this as home. It is an ext4 file system, ext4 file system. We shall have all the defaults, then we shall say 0 0. The first 0 indicates that this should be checked in the 0th, that is the first iteration actually, and 0 means, next 0 means don't check it at all. So no checking will be done for this particular hard disk. So let us say save this, right? Okay, it should be sudo slash umount slash mnt. Okay, and now let us say mount minus a. Now let us say df minus sudo df minus h. Now you will see that dev mapper myvg dash lvol 0 is loaded into is mounted in home directory. Okay, you can see that the first disk that we had, the size is 23 GB, of which 13 GB is available. Home was earlier a part of this. Now home has moved from the old disk to the new disk. So the hard disk is added, the memory is, the secondary storage is increased. Earlier the secondary storage was 25 GB only. Now it is 25 GB plus 4.9 GB. That's almost 5 GB. So it's 30 GB. Alright. Thank you very much. Please like this video. Please share this video. Please subscribe to our channel, Kerker's Linux World.